So staying at the door has primarily taught me that you aren't always going to see the influence that you have in other people's lives. In the beginning of the year, a lot of people doubt that you're there for the right reasons. It's really early in the morning, and you can see that in a lot of people's expressions and also some of the ways that people interact with you. But then when it starts to get to January and it's below 20 degrees, people start to have faith that what you're doing is real, and that's where the trust comes from the student body. And I knew that I needed that in order to have a larger impact on their lives. Staying at the front doors was a great way to create little relationships with every student at our high school, because I wanted everyone to know that I cared and that I was there for them, and that was the best way I could make that happen. And one of the most difficult things that has come with this role is the sense of responsibility that you feel for what goes on in the school because of how large my influence is in the school. I personally choose love because I've seen the ways that loneliness can affect someone. I've also seen the way that you can pull someone out of that. And because of that, I believe a lot of us are called to bring light to people's lives when they're in those dark moments. There was a student, and he would always sit by himself alone at lunch. And you could tell that he wasn't very turned on by the whole idea of school spirit. And eventually I kept sitting with him day after day, and it grew to the point where he no longer saw me as like an ASB member of our school anymore. It was just a student that cared. And one morning I was pleasantly surprised when I came to the front door, and after a few minutes there he was, and he was holding the door right next to me. And it was nice to see someone's perspective change of what leadership meant. I think what's really important about understanding the saying of "it's not all about you" is that it can't be all about you. Because if it's all about you, your motivations are going to be self-serving. The amount of energy that you have in serving yourself is very limited. Your actions are going to suffer from that. You aren't going to be able to pursue relationships as strongly, and eventually you're going to run out of steam, and you're going to run out of a reason to keep serving. It's really important that you don't try to put yourself into too many places. Being a leader, you see and you constantly hear feedback of the things that need to change in your school, and you try to become a part of everything. And the problem with trying to do everything is that in the end, you end up doing nothing. I would like to have had a better understanding of what it means to not act on your feelings, because I was constantly putting my feelings to the side in order to do what I knew in my heart was right. And it eventually grows to the point where you're pushing your feelings so far aside that you forget what feelings mean and the purpose of having emotions. So the role of consistency in being a servant leader it's astronomical, it's huge. When students are watching you, and they're always watching you, they want to see you having the same actions with everybody. They want to see that you're treating everybody the same way, because if they see that you're treating them differently, they're going to ask why. And at the same time, if they see you and you make a joke out of someone, the whole time that you're having an interaction with them, they're going to wonder if they're going to end up being the butt of some joke later on. That's why it's really important to have consistent character, is you want to give people faith that you are having interactions with them for the right reason, that you want to make their lives something better. And you can't do that if they don't have faith in you to begin with. Vulnerability is a very important aspect of people's lives. And through this, I was lucky enough to have friends that I could reach out to, and we created a group. And when things get really hard, I reach out to those people and ask them for support, and I give them specific ways in which they can help me in my life. And I think that's why it's really important to create those relationships, because times are going to get hard, and you're going to need those people to support you. there's a lot of pain in the world, but it definitely helps when thinking of how you're going to interact with the next person. You never know what kind of pain they're going through, but on the same level, if something ever does happen at my school, I'm always going to feel the responsibility for that, and that's something that's very difficult to deal with. So would I do it again? Definitely.